Okay, so for this one, we're going to do questions from 20 to 40. Now, 20 to 40 and sort of beyond have four more rules added, or 20 to 40 has only these four rules. So we have constructed dilemma, or CD for short, simplification, or simp for shorter, conjugation, or conj, and then addition, add. Uh, Similar to the other ones where they have like sort of symbols that you can use to figure out. This one has like horseshoes and then this symbol, little dot. For reference, this dot represents this, like the and I just write it like this. I don't know, it just came up that way. Simp is probably, I guess, the easiest. It's just P and Q, or P and Q, and then it just gets P. It's very important that you know that it gets away with the Q. Whatever's on the right side just is gone. For addition, addition is a bit weird because it's kind of, I guess, powerful. I don't know how to explain it, but it's P and then VQ, which means you can basically add whatever you want. Now, it sounds very useful, and it is, but just, I guess, don't always rely on it. Conjugation basically means P and Q, so you can have two separate sort of equations, whether they're in parentheses or in brackets, and then just combine them together. And it has to have the ant symbol or the circle. And then back to this one. This one's a little bit more complicated, but basically think about it this way. To combine PQ, P horseshoe Q, and R horseshoe S, and then basically just P and R combine with a V, and then Q and S combine down here. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to get to our first question, 34. And let's see how this do it. I guess I can just do it like this. Okay. So immediately we're giving again the conclusion, which is whatever this is on after the two little lines. So we have negative A and B. And so we basically have to find out what we can get from here. So let's see. From right now, I can tell that we have both negative A and B together, or in the same thing, but they are combined with another thing. So we can use one of the symbols already. Now, we see that it has the and sign, so that basically eliminates anything like this, because this does require four things, and this only has two. So we can't use CD. Conjugation, no, we're trying to separate them, so we're not going to combine them. Addition doesn't make sense. Again, we're trying to remove it. So the best one that works right here is simplification, simp. So for that, what we can basically do is we're going to start a little bit backwards. So we start from the bottom, and then we go up. Let's see, just to make sure. So 3 and 4 are basically going to come up to this one, because we know that we need these two independently, but we'll come back to this in a bit. So 4 is going to be B. The reason it's B, and it's proven by 1 using simplification or simp, is because using the simplification rule, the Q, which in this case is C, disappears. It's gone. We don't have to write it in here. We don't have to worry about it because it's just gone. And similarly to rule 2, we're going to be left with A, because using simp Q, the Q is D. It's on the other side of the and. So D is gone. And then we only have A and B. So 1, the reason this one's 1 and simp is because it's found here. And the reason this one is 2 and simp, because that's the rule we used. And it comes from line 2. Now, it's very important that you know the order for this one. So 3 and 4. I can't put it 4 and 3 because that would make it B and then negative a, which is not what we want. We have this. So make sure that you try to keep this in a good order and you know which lines they are. And so because we're putting these two together, the only ones that work like that can put things together rather than separate them, would be conjugation, which would be P, Q, and it would be and. So that's how we get that, and it's conjugation. And that's how you solve this one. Now we're going to be going to 35. So I kind of got ahead a little bit here, and similar to here, we have 30. This is the conclusion. So you write that at the bottom, and then basically we just have to get this. Now this one does seem a little bit more, I guess, daunting or maybe even impossible, because we only are given A and B, which do show up here, but where do D and C come from? Well, that's when we use the other trick. Let's see if I have. Okay. Using my other notes, you can still see the conjugation rules and all that. The only one that we can really use to add something to a simple P would be addition. And it becomes a V. So, I'm not entirely sure if the order matters exactly, but I'm just going to use the ones that he gave us in the answer sheet. So, from 3, you have A. So let's use, we get A, and then here it shows up as D. So V, D. Again, we just add this. We created it ourselves. We made it ourselves. I think as long as it just works and doesn't break the whole thing, it works. Yeah, I don't know. So add. Similar to here, we have B and C. So for 4, we're just going to use B, and then we add C. V and then C. It has to have a V. And then the reason we use 1 is because that's where we got it from. That's where we got B from, line 1. And again, it follows rule add. Now, once we get to that point, we have to make sure that we combine them in order. So A, V, D goes first, and then followed by B, V, C. So we can't put it 4 and then 3. It has to be 3 and then 4. So you write the rules. 3 and 4. And since we're combining them, the only thing that we have for rules that has to do with combination from all of these is 3, conjugation. So this becomes conj, and that's how you solve it. Okay, now we're going to move on to number 36. And here we're giving the conclusion. So we write the conclusion there, ED. Quick. E, horseshoes, D, parentheses, and parentheses, D, and then V. It's so hard to write. Okay. So that's our conclusion. And so once it's down there, I guess you could, if you want to erase it or maybe scratch it off, it's not important once you move it down to the bottom. It's not really relevant. It's these two little lines are basically telling you that it's completely separate from like the whole second line. Okay. So now that we get to this point, what we're after is DB and ED. But we have all of this. Now we have N, so let's see what rules we have for this one. Well, not this one. This has P by itself and then creates our thing. Again, we're trying to separate them, not combine them, so this wouldn't make any sense. No. This is basically to recreate it, and we're not trying to recreate it since we already have the materials we need. We just have to separate them. Well, this is probably the best we have. simplification. Again, what's on the left side stays, and then what's on the right side goes away. So getting onto here, we're going to use simplification. So let's start off with dB, or 304. Okay, I guess, yeah, I'm going to follow along with what the answer sheet has, because mine's just the opposite. So we're going to go with line 2. So ED is what we want, and we're going to write this here. And because we use simplification rule, simp, it gets rid of whatever's on the right side. So all of this is gone, forgotten. And then we're going to do the same here. Oh, wait, write the rule. So because we got it from line 2, this is line 2, and we got it simp. And then same here. We need dB, so we're going to use D horseshoes B. And because we got it from line 1, it's line 1, and then simp. So this is gone. You don't have to scratch this one off, but just so you know, like this is just in the next line gone. Okay. And then we have to combine them. So the only rule that we have for combining two things is going to be conjunction. Again, so this is 3 and 4. We have to keep that in the order. 3 and then 4. So it's going to be 3 and 4, and then conjugation. Oh, that's how you spell it, I think. Whatever. Conjugation. And that's how you get that one. I guess if you have any questions, just ask me in the group me.